Hello and welcome to Cars at 100, and on today's review I have this beautiful 2022 Mazda CX-9 Carbon Edition all-wheel drive. We're gonna look at this car from the outside, go inside and check out the window sticker for some of the options that come on this car. So let's not waste any more time and let's jump into it. Interesting headlights, kind of aggressive look up front. Interesting front grille, quite large. You have this Mazda logo with this kind of a plastic covering on top to hide the adaptive cruise control that this car has. This kind of trim from the front grille goes into the headlight, which is a very interesting design, I would say. And these headlights, very unique. They're like eyes, as you can see. You have this chrome here. As a carbon package, I would kind of assume it would have more blacked out trim, but Mazda decided to make it kind of a more conservative looking at the same time, but it has some fun to it with the blacked out rims. And speaking of these rims, as you can see, they are quite large and they measure 255, 50 are 20-inch rims all around, and they are wrapped in a Bridgestone tire. We have the key fob here, as you can see. This key fob has buttons on the side and lock, unlock, hold for trunk release and hold for panic there. And you can lock the car with a button here, yeah, and you can unlock it with the same button.
Do I need to remove anything from inside that part?
Just like this. We can open this beautiful CX-9, and as you can see, these door cards, kind of a not soft but not hard. It's kind of rough, soft, I would say, at the same time. Kind of molded plastic feel. You have the soft touch materials almost everywhere. This is hard plastic down here. You have a book pocket and as well as big bottle holder. You have a Bose optional sound system that comes standard on this Carbon Edition of this Mazda. You have automatic up and down on all four sides in terms of the windows. You have some side mirror controls, and you have nice stitching here as well. As you can see, it's the part of the red leather interior. But generally speaking, it's a very good quality in terms of the design, and overall this feels like, you know, kind of like a memory foam type of feel here. So if you rest your elbow here, it's going to be comfortable for long trips. And as you can see, stitching lines up beautiful. And you have this piano black finish here, as well as the chrome that continues on the inside as well from the outside. You have memory seating, you have controls, automatic controls for the seats. You have some bolstering down here, you have some bolstering up top, mostly bolstering up top. You have a perforated leather seat here. It is quite comfortable, and I would say this entrance is quite large as well. So if we jump inside, the first impression that you get in terms of the quality of this Mazda is how premium it feels for the price of under 50,000. So Japanese automaker really does, you know, a good job in terms of, you know, delivering this car in terms of the quality to a consumer in such a good package. And as lease deals soar to the sky in recent times, this is a very good proposition. This car is under $600 a month, if you believe, and I'm gonna leave the information in the description box if you're interested in this particular package. And speaking of the interior and this car in general, let's start this engine. And as you can see, you have a nice sweeping needles there. Very comfortable car, very soft. You know, you feel that you are driving such a, you know, luxury car, but at the same time, this is not a luxury car. This is just a very nice SUV, very nicely built. These cars are built in Japan, and you know, you can really tell by the quality of, you know, craftsmanship. Japanese really take it seriously building these cars. One negative aspect about this interior is no touch screen, believe it or not. Very interesting, kind of a downer to me personally. Like, I feel like in our day and age, this should not be the only way you can manipulate that infotainment. You also have here the climate control options and nice knobs. You know, everybody's going with the, you know, nice feeling. Everybody's going with the, you know, all digital look. They think is the future. They're trying to attract customers like this. At the same time, it is good, but you also want some practicality. You know, you want to press these buttons. You know, you have the buttons here, and there's nothing wrong to have buttons on the steering wheel. You know, some automakers think it's an old school way, but I think it's the best way. You have nice gauges here. As you can see, these gauges, you have the tach, of course, here. This is analog gauges from side to side here, as you can see on this side as well. But here, this is all digital. As you can see, if you can tell, this is a display, and this ring is just a, you know, analog ring, just a ring there, and you have the display there. You can also change miles to kph just with the press of this button, and you have some options here. With the press of this button here, you can go into different options that the car offers you in terms of the information. But generally speaking, it's very straightforward. That's what I like about this car. Nice quality sound in terms of the engine. You can tell that this car can be, you know, used for 10 years plus. You know, you can tell by the way it feels. And speaking of this infotainment, it's fast, there's no complaint about that, but it is no touch screen once again. And to some people that's not a big deal, but to some it might be a deal breaker. You have the glove box here, quite large and quite comfortable. In terms of the storage, you know, you can, you know, store stuff here, and it's felt lined, so there's nothing going to be rattling in this, you know, glove box. And this felt line, reminiscent of luxury cars, it kind of gives you the vibe of a luxury car. You also have a nice Bose sound system with the center point and surround sound. You have some options here for the storage, and of course you have a wireless charger there, so you can charge your phone. You have the transmission lever here, you can go into manual mode, and you have paddle shifters here. And in terms of the steering wheel, you have a nice design on the steering wheel. As you can tell, you have some safety options here on the left as well. Speaking of this section here, and also this button, you have a sport mode here, so you can go into sport mode. The car will hold gears more, and the throttle will be more sensitive. A heated steering wheel option here as well. You have two cup holders here, quite large for such a big SUV, and I mean appropriate for such a big SUV, these cup holders. You have USB option in here to connect two devices, one to connect, I guess one to charge, and you have here option to have, I guess, to put the SD card. You can put storage or media into that SD card, and you have some soft material on the bottom of this storage here, and you can open it two ways, just like some German automakers. And I have a window sticker here to show you exactly what this car has in terms of the equipment. You can pause the screen at any second to see all the options. And if you are curious, as you can tell, their exterior color is polymetal gray metallic. This is a specific color for carbon edition trim. And you have a total MSRP there, $45,540. So this car comes as how it is for this package. So it's a standard equipment. Everything that you see here, it's all standard. It's a part of the carbon edition. And you have a black lug nuts and black wheel locks, first aid kit, roadside assistance kit. This is some of the dealer options the car came with. And you have a final assembly point for this car is, as you can see, Hiroshima, Japan, and country of origin, engine Japan, transmission Japan. So this is a fully Japanese car. 23 miles per gallon combined, 20 in the city, 26 on the highway. Let's check out the back seats. To enter the back seats, the doors need to be unlocked beforehand, and you can enter this Mazda back seats. You also have here window shades. You have a Bose sound system speakers here as well. You have automatic up and down in terms of the windows here as well. You have stitching that lines up, once again, quality. You have a nice seats here, captor chair layout here. There's no bench. Generally speaking, you have here climate control options, as you can tell by this display, and you have heated rear seats. You have some climate control options, and you have vents, two vents here, and you have two cup holders conveniently located in the middle. As you can see, the headroom here is plenty, and I'm 6 feet tall, and I have plenty of legroom. This seat is all the way back. It's easy to access the third row, as you can tell by this entrance kind of a, section here in the middle of second row, and you have quite large third row. As you can tell, I barely fit in the third row of this Mazda CX-9. You have some cup holders here, you have some pocket here, and you have a USB option here and USB option there, and you also have cup holder there as well. You have speakers on the sides here as well. But in terms of the headroom, it's a minimal headroom, unlike the second row, which I fit very comfortably, and I have plenty of headroom just like up front. This is a very comfortable car for the second row, but I think this third row will be most likely used for children. And look at that, you have two more USB options there, and these are to charge your devices, and you have some pockets there, as you can tell. And now let's check out the trunk space. In order to open the trunk, you have to have a key fob in your pocket, and you have a button here right under the Mazda logo, as well as your rear view camera there. And just like this, we will open this trunk, and you have some storage under the floor of the trunk as well. And if we drop down these seats, we will be able to have more space. As you can tell here, it's quite large. But if you drop down the second row as well, you'll have even more space. And you also have automatic closing trunk here. I would say it's a very good car for what it is, and it's a very good price if you want to lease something like this and you need a 3-row SUV. It's a very good proposition for people who start in a family or who just want a comfortable and reliable car. I hope you enjoyed today's review of this 2022 Mazda CX-9 Carbon Edition all-wheel drive. If you have any questions about this or any other car, please leave a comment and I will get back to you. And if you have any questions on leasing or financing any car or this car, you can find out by inquiring to this company behind me. I'm gonna put the information in the description box as well, so you can check that out. And I'll see you next time. Stay loving cars.